Of course, Biden's enemies will seek to maximize his discomfort, and this, and I'm sure that images of his son going in and out of courts will be played over and over again in advertising to just underline what the Republicans allege is the Biden crime family that has made enormous amounts of money out of Joe's career.
Yes, every Thursday we head to the US to find out what's happening in Washington. And today, David Charter is joining us. You're the Times US editor. David, how are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. Thank you. Yeah, I'm fine. The weather has finally hit summer mode here. It's very hot.
Very hot and humid, I imagine, in DC.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beginning to cook, and the mosquitoes are coming back. So that's always the worst. That's always the worst moment of the summer.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well, look, at least you're not on trial in New York, David. And Donald Trump is still there, although the jury are out. Are they likely to give us their verdict today?
We could get it later today. Actually, in the office sweepstake, I've got 11:30 on Friday morning, but. If you had to push me, I would go for that. I would go for Friday morning, I think, because it's very complicated. You've got a lot of charges to go through, 34 counts. It is possible that it could be some of them he could be guilty on, and some of them not. Because remember, 9 of them are for checks that he actually signed. There are other charges for entries into the general accounting ledger. That's 12 of the charges. And there are 11 charges for invoices from Michael Cohen. So it could be that the jury decides that some of them weren't Trump's behest, or that Trump had his fingerprints on them. And it could be, of course, that there are 1 or 2 dissenting jurors who just think Michael Cohen is an inveterate liar. This is the defense, the defense line. And they're minded just to throw the whole thing out. They might be diehard Trump supporters for all we know. We just don't know what's going on in the jury room. But we do know that late last night, just before things wrapped up, they came back with a couple of questions. So the judge is going to have parts of the transcript read to them this morning when they come back. And most tellingly, they wanted to hear testimony from David Pecker, the former head of the National Enquirer. This is interesting because he was the first witness now several weeks ago. So
and
they're going to
he sort
refresh
of
their memory on him.
explained pretty extensively about the catch and kill operations he was running to
That's
stop negative
exactly
stories
it.
about Trump. Yeah.
And the reason I find it very telling is because the prosecution's parting shot was, well, you don't have to take Michael Cohen's word for it, words to that effect. We've had lots of other witnesses that have corroborated this conspiracy. And David Pecker was the one who testified that there was a meeting in 2015 to discuss this catch and kill scheme, and that he would be, quotes, the eyes and ears of the campaign. And that's significant because the defense line is that Trump wanted to bury this story of an alleged affair with Stormy Daniels to protect his wife and his family, nothing to do with the campaign. And David Pecker testified differently. He said he would be the eyes and ears of the campaign. So I think that suggests that the jury is leaning towards believing the prosecution. But all we can do is wait.
Well, and Trump himself is sounding a little bit pessimistic. Let's listen to what he was saying outside court yesterday.
Mother Teresa could not beat these charges. These charges are rigged. The whole thing is rigged. The whole country's a mess.
Well, yeah, pessimistic is one word, David. Defiant is another, given he's clearly gearing up, if he's convicted, to dismiss it all as a trumped-up act of political sabotage by a Democratic Attorney General.
Yeah, well, we've heard this playbook before, of course. The 2020 election was rigged because Trump lost. And so therefore it must have been fixed by the Democrats. Now, so Trump's just warming up his supporters for another defeat, another reversal that he will portray as rigged. Interestingly, his team has a full 6 months to file the appeal, which they're bound to do if he's convicted on any of these charges. And that would, of course, take it past the election into yet more uncharted territory if he becomes president again What will happen to the state court case? Will it be will state prosecutors continue to hound a sitting president? We just don't know. But it's certainly the Trump team's view that if he becomes president again, he becomes a bit more bulletproof against all these criminal cases.
And if Donald Trump does win, here's another question for you, David. Will he be bringing in Elon Musk into the Republican administration if he wins that election? There's been some suggestion of that in the last couple of days.
Yeah, well, what's given rise to this is leaked details of a dinner with Elon Musk in March, with some other high-powered, wealthy friends, when Musk is basically pitching to Trump how he's going to combat election fraud, if you like, on X. And it's led to speculation, of course, that Musk could become some sort of advisor to a Trump administration. Had a discussion on this show a week or two ago about whether foreign-born people could become part of an administration, and we remembered that, of course, Henry Kissinger was born in Germany, Madeleine Albright. These people have played a big, having become naturalized American citizens. They've become important cabinet members, both of them secretaries of state. So it's not unprecedented that foreign-born naturalized citizens play a big role in administrations. Somehow, I think Musk would be more interested in making money and perhaps just being a bit of an advisor to the scheme. He's back at #1 in the world's richest man, according to Forbes, and he's asking for a big pay rise from Tesla. So I think that's probably what he's got on his mind more than a cabinet role. But it certainly seems that Musk will join the campaign against Biden. What Trump wants, of course, is his money. Trump is struggling to raise cash, so that's probably what he's got his mind on.
And one trial to another, David, to wrap up this week's Washington Whispers. Joe Biden's son Hunter, his legal struggles continue. He's facing his own court battles. He's about to become the first ever child of a sitting president to become a criminal defendant. Is this going to cause political problems for his father?
Yes, well, I think possibly it will, because the trial of Hunter Biden, and this one is for charges related to allegedly lying to own a firearm, to own a Colt revolver, when he revealed, of course, in his own autobiography that he was a drug addict at the time, but the form on which he had to swear that he was not addicted to any substances in order to obtain the gun shows that he ticked the box that he was clean. So he's on trial starting next week in Delaware. This could take a while. Biden is out of the country. He's going to D-Day commemorations, so we don't think the president's going to turn up and watch. However, of course, Biden's enemies will seek to maximize his discomfort, and I'm sure that images of his son going in and out of courts will be played over and over again in advertising to just underline what the Republicans allege is the Biden crime family that has made enormous amounts of money out of Joe's career. And that's mainly, of course, linked to Hunter Biden's lucrative job on the board of a Ukrainian gas company. But again, anything that keeps Hunter Biden in the news is going to be used to remind voters of alleged the Bidens having their hands in the trough.
Well, indeed, both sides have their legal troubles in this long election year. David Charter, Times US editor, thanks very much